well. Voting has ended.
And as you can see, they started counting, and all you would hear some of the supporters. They are also counting. They don't want any mistake. And so they are also following the process very, very clearly. Here we have about 4 polling stations, and they've all started their counting process. So this is one of the strong ways of the level of parliament criteria, and also the parliamentary contribution but this is where we will be voting over the years. The margin is this time around.
Hello, Ibrahim. Okay, so the line to Ibrahim just had a challenge there. Hopefully we're able to connect to him and he gives us everything that he had to say. But we're hoping that the voter turnout issue that we've had in the few constituencies that we've gone to doesn't reflect nationally. Really. I'm coming back to you, Philip.
Interesting also, this may all be creative or be identifying or revealing the fact that there probably is an opportunity to tap in there for the smaller parties or third forces out there. Maybe this is the time for them to also do well to put their messages out there, because when the fatigue begins to set in with the supposed two-party states that we are running currently, then there's an opportunity for these guys to also become an alternative, because maybe the burnout is going to set in. People are tired of the two leading parties. So I'm sure the smaller parties are also taking this. We've seen the likes of Alan Chemating and Cheddar gain some good grounds and momentum. And you saw Alan Chemating's rally in the Ashanti region that is reported to have had about 100,000 people show up. We've seen Cheddar also with some good representation and some good following. You see on social media a lot of the youth seem to identify with his message and his personality. It just shows you maybe this is an indicator of what 2028 elections would begin to look like. Maybe we'll begin to see third forces arise stronger, and maybe the other two parties may get a run for their money going forward into the elections. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, because if you look at the polls that came up even ahead of this year's general election, there were a lot of good numbers for Cheddar and for Alan Chemating of the Movement for Change.
Yeah.
I mean, for Cheddar, for instance, to show up just this year and for him to get the numbers he was getting, number 4, I believe, and Alan Chemating, who had been a trade minister before. Remember that this is also somebody who was a minister in Kufuor's administration between 2000 and 2008, when he exited for the former President John Mills to take over the reins of power. So Alan has been there for a long time, and for him to be number 3 going into this year's general election, per the polls that came up, and for Cheddar to also be number 4 is quite interesting. But let's get the latest from the Yendi constituency. Amin Mumuni is joining us live from there. Amin, tell us, I believe by now polls have closed. EC has started sorting out and counting.
Yes, okay, thank you so much for having me this evening. The Yendi constituency, as of right now, in some part of polling stations, some have closed their voting process and counting is underway. But as of right now, I'm still at the Swahili primary polling station where voting is still going on due to some voters, they came late, even though they were here before 5 p.m. And maybe per the law, they are giving them the chance. And as you can see, my camera show them the queue. And as you can see, some are still under the queue. So as of right now, the Swahili primary school, they are still, the voting is still a process, and we don't know when it will end. Maybe after the last person is voted, then the counting will start. And right here, security, they are heavily represented. Nothing is going on right now. And also lightening, they are providing light because it is getting dark here. So lightening is not an issue right here. And moreover, since morning, the whole Yendi constituency, all the voting processes have not, all the police stations that have visited have not recorded any critical incidents. And moreover, when it comes to the electoral materials, especially the EC, they face, especially the old age people, they were finding it difficult to verify them, but some were able to go through the process. Yes.
Just tell us more about the security situation there, because we know that certain constituencies in the northern part of the country have had violence. For instance, Tolong, unfortunately, one person has died. You've been in this constituency since morning. Tell us generally how the security situation has been.
Yes, so when it comes to the security situation, all the police stations that are visited since morning, I've realized that security, they were being posted permanently to monitor the voting process and also provide security. And also there was another strategy that the security service they used. There was patrol team patrolling from each police station to each police station across the Yendi constituency. And right now, as I told you earlier, I'm still at the Swaleya primary police station, where around 3 p.m. there was some incident that happened whereby the NDC parliamentary candidate allegedly accused the incumbent MP, Alhaji Faruk Ali Mama, that he brought soldiers onto a private car, which they were not aware of. So that is incident, they were able to resolve it, and they are still going through or monitoring the process. And also, I'm also here, and more of us, I'm still monitoring the process to see where this incident will lead to. So as of right now, I'm speaking, we have the NDC parliamentary candidate, Alhassan Abdel Fattah Jofa, he's present here, and also the incumbent MP, Alhaji Faruk Ali Mama, is also right here at this police station right now. They are all monitoring the process to see how it will end, and then voting, the counting will also start.
Indeed. I mean, briefly before you go, we saw in your shot, it looked like a street light had fallen, something of the sort. I don't know whether you have information on that and what exactly happened.
Yes, they just brought the electric technician to fix that. That's what you are seeing currently, and I think he has done justice to the fixing, and he's about to go home. But so right now, the lighting is not an issue here, as we are all concerned.
I mean, thank you so much for bringing us all the latest we need to know from the Yendi constituency in the northern part of the country. Michael, I mean, it's good to hear that in Yendi there's no security breach, as it were.
Yeah, but what just got my attention was the issue of the street lights.
Yes.
So it appears it's now being installed.
Okay.
So does that mean that prior to this election, the constituency of the area or that area didn't have street lights? That's a good question to ask. And you see, it all boils down to this whole development conversation where I, for instance, went home yesterday and saw the roads in my area had been graded. Oh, suddenly, when I was leaving in the morning, it wasn't done. So it just shows you that a lot of development actually comes only when it's election period. We are hoping that this narrative will improve and things will begin to change. And it will be interesting also to know what preparations the Electoral Commission has put in place for these election process that as we are seeing now, will go quite late into the night to ensure that the places where they are well lit and there are no obstructions whatsoever. Bella, over to you.
Well, thank you so much, Michael. And yes, I'll be wrapping up with my guests shortly. They've been here with us since 12 p.m. And well, the afternoon stretches from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. And so they've been very good company. We'll just take final words very briefly so we can also wrap up officially with them. Maybe I'll start off with you, Council.
I will start it off from the angle that throughout our being here, it seems none of us gave any praises to the police and then the EC. I would like to commend them. They've done really well.
Okay.
Maybe I can give them between 90 and then 95%.
Okay.
You see, we have 276 police. So if at the end of the day, security situations in almost about 200 conferences have been normal. You see, in our part of the world, you can do good for like about 1,000 times. But the only instant that you have it wrong, the whole world will come up. So we shouldn't also lose focus that the IGP and the SMEM have also made the difference. They went through a lot of training before they started it. Same as the EC and then the official. They believe that they will also come with their side of the story. But importantly, my last message will be that be it our pastors, opinion leaders, the media, and the general public, we've tried and tested the 1992.
Carry on, sorry.
We've tried and tested the 1992 Constitution, okay, as our legal framework, guiding our democratic dispensation. Unfortunately,
My time is running out, so I just wanted you to make this brief.
majority of Ghanaians feel what is in existence now is not helping the citizens.
Okay.
So they should look back and try and let us make changes.
All right.
Thank you.
Sorry. Your final.
Well, modestly, the president will say that Ghana will not bend. Ghana hasn't bent. So it's victory for the whole populace.
Yes.
And I think that I'll commend all of us, every one of us, for contributing to the success of this democratic process. The whole world is watching. We've talked another faith, and I think it's a good commendation.
Well, we'll be going to Miriam is in my central, but can we just quickly wrap up with Nanaya and then we'll do that? So, Nanaya, final words. I have just 30 seconds. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And let's just quickly go to Miriam. Miriam is going to give us some updates as well. Hello, Miriam. Hi, Miriam.
And voting has been started from now. The consulting is underway. Presently, at the GCP pilot, it's been there about 6 stations.
All right. Miriam, well, that's Miriam in Tema Central as well. Hopefully we can hear from her. Miriam, I believe she's back now.
Hi, Bella, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Carry on, Miriam. Hello, Miriam, I can hear you.
Hi, Bella, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Right, so I was really raising the fact that, yes, I can hear you. I was really raising the fact that there was a lot of turn up, at these polling stations. But the example that I party in the vision was that the beginning of the turn out, what I'm saying, I did say that let's take all the polling station, that's the 50 requirement, the content is underway. So lots of polling stations are only
There's a lot of background noise, and so we'll come to you again. But let me quickly say thank you to my guests in the studio. We've had Mr. Kuko and Sari, former director of the Ghana School of Law. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. Nanaya Achimpindanso is the former general secretary of the CPP, and also we've had John Clayson. He is a constitutional lawyer and a government expert. I've enjoyed my afternoon with you. Thank you so much for your time. And we're going to go over to Michael and Beatrice. I think it's been a good day.
Yeah, but
I think there's a stranger in town. And he just joined us on set as well. Hello, Alfred.
Hello, Bella.
How's your day been?
It's been one full of activity. Watching you guys recounting all the issues and how they've been playing out in the various constituencies. It's been a lot. There's been a lot to talk about, especially because of the pockets of violence that we have seen, as well as some of the issues of suspected ballots that have already been completed, as well as some 500,000 ballot papers that the NDC reported they had intercepted somewhere in Kwara. So all of these, in fact, the Labour Commission has been giving some updates on some of the issues that we have also picked up. But It's good to know that they have indicated they'll be giving intermittent reports and also some press engagements, so we get to know what they are also doing. But definitely a good job done over the last 6 hours, and this is the place to be. We are only in command center.
Absolutely, Alfred. Thank you so much. And well, the team has been fantastic. Myself, and of course, Michael and Beatrice. And I believe we'll be wrapping up shortly, but I'll let you take your final words as well, team.
Well, okay, so let me just go. Well, it's been amazing. Of course, I said the violence in the various areas and the unfortunate death. I was hoping that, I'm sure, like a lot of us, that nobody would die from this year's general election. Unfortunately, somebody has died and a few others equally injured. But, well, we're grateful that you've kept company with us throughout the last 6 hours.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this whole voter turnout plays out on the national landscape. We've seen quite low turnouts in some constituencies, polling centers. We see how all of that fits in the national conversation and how that also affects the actual turnout of this year's elections.
Yes, indeed. My name is Bella Muni, and it's been a pleasure. And of course, the evening tea takes over now. And so, okay.
Yes, Bella. So we continue the coverage of this year's presidential parliament elections here on your election command center. The sorting of the ballot papers is ongoing in earnest across a number of the constituencies on the ballot. That we've seen as well in instances where we have seen the cases of some of the ballot papers that have been tampered with. Remaining your election command center, some 40,900 polling stations and over is what we have eyes on. So please stay with us here on your election command center. We will cover every step of the way, the balloting that has taken place already, and then also the sorting and the counting and the final declaration. Stay with us here on your election command center. Election night continues right after this.
Every child is so unique, standing in everywhere. So anytime you walk a day, you are special like Intermission.
Did you know that every child on the planet has their own unique fingerprint like no other? As well as their own unique talents and abilities. So every day, in whatever you do, remember you are special in your own way, like no other.
Thank you, Mom, for letting me know I'm special and for making me my special in the week. Thank you, Mom.
Introducing Persona Non-Stop Protection 72-hour antiperspirant with breakthrough marker technology that forms a stronger sweat barrier, tested to the limit, even during the most intense workout.
Clean, dry, and better longer.
Try the new Persona 72-hour non-stop protection with clean, dry, and fresh underarms every day.
Great new design. It's right. Reducing friction. It absorbs all liquid to prevent leakage. This product has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Hello everyone. 7th of December is
Actually, the Soviet free in the Swedish
class finance. It's a day we go to the polls to vote for president, I'm asking all of you to peace for the I want peace. Christ came to bring peace to this world. His whole message is a message of peace. Let there be peace. My peace is good. With the will of God. That was Christ's message to bring peace. And we, as followers of Jesus Christ, remain in the of peace. So let's all come to be voting for on that day. Let's vote on that day. Let's come peacefully. No fighting, no insults. Come peacefully and be able to vote and to hold peacefully.
No, because of moving
Peace will be
no, my God.
peace will be all follow and only Savior, Jesus Christ. His whole message when he was on this earth is a message of peace. That is all come and be able to vote peacefully. And let's have no fake news, no insulting, no fighting, no violence, none of those. We have to be men and women of peace. So I, Father, I am for peace, and I want peace in this country. I am happy voting day on the 7th of December. God bless you all.
Radio Angeles, 24-hour online radio.
Daniela, you want to make you a living answer. Hey. Hey, you only been on with the back of that, no more time that's away.
2024 elections. It is very crucial for us as a nation because we are come a long way in maintaining the peace and stability of our nation. And the Fourth Republic has been the only time that we have been able to hold this peace, even at the brink of breaking, and has shown the maturity and the love we have for ourselves as one people with a common destiny. It is based on this I call on you wherever you are, that God Himself who created us by His Son Jesus Christ assures and tells us to be at peace with all men. We all have to ensure that we respect the verdict of the people's mandate to win when the elections and the voting is over. Cast your votes and leave the place. Do not ferment trouble, but comply with all the rules that you need to comply with.
I don't mind the
Sign the peace pact. May it not be that the only sign. But I call on you wherever you are. Any political candidate, be it a parliamentarian or be it a politician, make sure, with all humility, that you maintain what you have said and what you done your signature to. We have passed the test before, and we can pass this one too. Let's put to the world that indeed we know that election is only for us to show what we like, but not to fight.
In a world where stories come alive, where dreams and reality intertwine, where drama ignites our souls and action sends pulses racing, we journey through realms uncharted, scenes unscripted, moments. Here, the heartbeats of heroes echo in epic fashion, battles of will and might. Built and fought to become our stage. Our victory and defeat dance their eternal tango. Reality reveals its many faces, raw and unfiltered. Life in its purest form. Current affairs capture the pulse of our world, unfolding the truths that shape our days. Every frame, a universe. Every genre, a new adventure. A mosaic of human spirits captured in the lens. Painted with light and shadow. This is a symphony of stories, a celebration of life in its colors. This is TV3.
In a world where every moment counts, one team stands ready to deliver the news that shapes our lives. A team driven by truth, integrity, and unwavering dedication. They travel to the front lines, truth, bringing Get ready to witness the stories of tomorrow. We are the most trusted voices in journalism who are committed to delivering actionable, balanced, and thought-provoking news. TV3, first in news.
No matter who ultimately wins, you're all winners for coming this far. The winner is Liza!
Toppington, it's not just about grades, it's about determination, creativity, and ambition. Toppington, coming soon on TV3.
Technology that forms the strongest sweat barrier, sensitive to the limit, even during the most intense workout. Stretching, dry, and fresh for longer. Try the new Rexona 72-hour non-stop protection, the clean, dry, and fresh on the arm every day.
This festive season, it's time to go big and go loud, because with GoTV, ODIASEMPA. From match days and movie days to local stories, big little adventures.
Really?
It's unmatched entertainment for the whole family. GoTV brings the joy anytime, anywhere. Get your festive season sorted. Get GoTV.
In a forgotten time, she ruled with a fierce heart. Amwenima, beloved goddess, destined for eternal slumber. Forgotten by time, she awakens in a new era, searching for her place in a world that has moved on. Amwenima's era, rediscover the legend.
You realize you can buy more for less? Only at Trademark. The best part, checking out with confidence, knowing you stay under budget. Introducing Rexona Non-Stop Protection, 72-hour antiperspirant with breakthrough marker technology that forms a stronger sweat barrier, tested to the limit, even during the most intense workout. Stretching, dry, and fresh for longer. Try the new Rexona 72-hour non-stop protection, the clean, dry, and fresh on the arms every day.
In a forgotten time, she ruled with a fierce heart. Amwenima, beloved goddess, destined for eternal slumber. Forgotten by time, she awakens in a new era, searching for her place in a world that has moved on. Amwenima's era, rediscover the legend.
A year that
has tested the resilience of Ghana's democracy. The elephant and the umbrella face off with new contenders and promises, making all the campaign trail unpredictable. From breakups to new alliances, party leaders have crisscrossed the nation, seeking to secure the trust of the people. Today, that trust will be put to the test. As the sun rises over Ghana, millions head to polling stations with hope and determination, asking who will lead us forward? What will the future hold? At TV3, we've covered every twist of this election season. Today, we'll take you to the heart of the action, from polling stations to the Electoral Commission, as the numbers roll in and history unfolds.
This act is not about how convenient or easy to use our app is, although it is. It's not about how accessible our loans are, although they are. This isn't about how secure Affinity is, although security is our highest priority. We're a community of entrepreneurs, individuals, young people, and all doers. Affinity is about providing the necessary services and tools to help simplify the daily banking tasks customers rely on. Easy and accessible. Because banking doesn't have to be an inconvenience. With Affinity, you're in.
Ghana, a nation rich in history and culture, stands at the crossroads of democracy once again. As the sun rises over this beautiful land, millions of Ghanaians prepare to cast their votes, driven by ideals, visions, and the hope for a brighter future.
At the heart of my vision for economic revitalization is the implementation of a 24-hour economy.
My government will increase the stock of student accommodation. I also introduce new policy that within the next 2 years, we'll be producing our own spare parts in Ghana.
We should start industrialization to help build our nations and our country.
Elections are more than just a process. They are testament to the power of the people. Each vote cast is a voice heard, a dream shared, and a vision for the future.
As we respect Ghana, as we did before, it's been better for them at life. You need people who understand the work to be in parliament. That protest has not seen the light of the day. You have not seen anything on the ground. They actually come, sick people lying in the rooms. How will they ever go to the hospital? The cost is too high. I haven't started the hospital. And hopefully it will be commissioned by the end of this year.
It is through these collective voices that leadership is chosen.
You have been running an artificial economy for all these years. How is it that over 32 years, each party has us in the eye? You're talking about finding a new path that no one countries. Will investigate corruption scandals including the PDS, the Japan, SML, Masset, Galante fraud.
We should not be allowed close to the president with that mindset. We should not be allowed close to the president.
Today, as we exercise our rights to vote, we reaffirm our commitment to democracy. We choose leaders who embody our ideals, who share our visions, and who will lead us with integrity and purpose.
studios here at the Salway Kanga. This is TV3 Ghana Decides. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Election Night, our continuous coverage of Election Night. A nation in crisis is at a crossroads. The Ghanaian people have cast their ballot. Voting and has ended as we speak right now, and sorting ongoing, and the counting will continue. The declaration will be there. The world is watching, and anything is possible until the last vote is counted. We here on your Election Command Center will bring you everything when they happen and as they happen here on Ghana Decides. I am Alfred Okansi.
Indeed, thank you so much, Alfred. Remember that we know emotions are running high tonight, but every election brings those moments of triumph and disappointment. What defines us is our peaceful, respectful process. Now, voter turnout has been checkered across the country. Regardless of the outcome, remember, we must unite as one nation under one flag, moving forward together. I'm Kenan Yamano.
And I am Martin Esiedudase. Each vote cast reflects the hope and belief of a citizen committed to shaping the future of our nation. Tonight, we honor not just the outcome, but the very spirit of democracy, the power to choose, to speak, and to respect the voices of all. Whether your candidate prevails or not, the future of Ghana belongs to all of us. Together, we will continue building a brighter, stronger, and inclusive nation for every Ghanaian. Thank you for sharing this historic journey with us. Stay with us as we wait for the results, which are starting to roll in to your Election Command Center.
It is warped logic to jump from that to a conclusion that if there is depreciation in the currency, then the fundamentals must be weak.
How is it that over 32 years, each party lands us in the island?
So I'm here to bring that strategy that would change the country.
Election day in Ghana, where history is made, where every voice matters, and where the pulse of the nation beats strong across the country. Canadians have risen early to exercise their democratic rights. From the bustling streets of Accra to the serene villages of the north, today, Ghana stands united in the democratic process. Thousands of polling stations across 276 constituencies, each a symbol of hope, a reflection of the nation's commitment to democracy. With each vote cast, Ghanaians are shaping the future of their country. It's a moment of pride for every citizen, a step toward the next chapter in Ghana's story.
People who escape this process of being accountable to your people are not doing good for the people.
Everybody knows that we are in economic quagmire.
As voting ends, the atmosphere is one of optimism and unity. No matter the outcome, Ghana's commitment to a peaceful transition remains unwavering. First is democracy in action. Two major tickets with dramatically different visions for the country, and others hoping to be the third force. Who will win? Is it the digitalization guru, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and his running mate, the controversial Matthew Opoku-Brempeh, or the nation builder, former President John Dramani Mahama, and the professor who will become the first female vice president in Ghana's history, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyemang? Will the third force take us by storm? Tonight, as we await the result, let us remember, this is not just an election. It's the heartbeat of a nation that believes in its people, its future, and the power of democracy.
Submission.
Ewie instructions.
Professiano, Emani, Munda Luciano.
Your election command center Ghana decides. This is a continuous coverage of election 2024. It's a crucial election, and we're here on your election command center with you every step of the way. Now, voting has ended in a number of the polling stations we're monitoring, and in a few other places as well, because they started late. Voting is yet to end there. We're monitoring over 40,900 polling stations across the 276 constituencies. In all 16 regions across the country, remain your election command center. There's been pockets of violence, Martin and Kennedy, and then also other issues related to ballot stuffing and the attempt to do so, and then also the detection of some ballot papers that have also been hand-printed already. Quite concerning, is it not?
Certainly very concerning, and it's interesting to note that I think those who have been arrested or caught, it was because of the vigilance of many of those who had gone out to vote, plus the assistance of the security agencies who were around these areas where these things happen. So later in the show, we'll actually go through some of the key notable issues that have come out as a result of this election. Fortunately, the numbers of persons that died in the 2020 elections, we are yet to get some finality to that, but it is very much untold. Compared to the numbers we are recording this year, we would say we have made some significant strides, but still very unfortunate that we are losing a life because of a democratic process where we are all supposed to just go out there, exercise our franchise, and vote. Maybe I want to, throw this back to you, Kennedy and Alfred. Did any of you vote actually? Did you exercise your franchise? Did you vote actually?
We all know the challenges we face, so yeah. But a number of us did make some time to vote.
Alfred, you're just saying no.
Alfred, you didn't vote.
It's okay, you can say no. We know those who voted and those who
Yes,
didn't.
I mean, we can show our thumbs to know, because if you vote, you have to have an ink on one of your fingers, which is your small thumb.
You don't have to wrap it. I think I'm saying that here.
To show your thumb, and that's your small finger at the front.
I wiped mine off.
But you know what? Guys, it's quite concerning that we're seeing at least the case of one death in the Tolong area. And Kennedy, we were on this one together. When we heard of this particular news, it was not.
Because we have been running around earlier today. All the centers that we have been to, the process was peaceful. There weren't as many people as you would think there, and so you can imagine my shock when we're driving back to the office, and then we hear the situation in Akwiteman, and then subsequently in Tolong, or the other way around. I think Tolong came first, and then we had the situation in Akwiteman as well. For one person to die as a result of this, when you hear the young people in Akwiteman narrate the incident and how they were, many of them are injured in that community, really disturbing. It masks the image of the electoral process so far. And let's keep in mind that all of these things happened before voting ended. So, it makes me worry just a little bit, tad bit, about when counting officially begins. They're starting the process now. Perhaps counting has begun in certain areas. We'll find out when we reach our correspondents across the country. But I am a tad bit worried about this period.
Indeed, and rightly so. And as we indicated, we have tabs on over the 40,900 polling stations across the country here at the Election Command Center. We're crossing over to the data center just to give you an idea of the structure we have put in place to make sure that as the results trickling thick and fast from the polling stations, we will take it through a process before we tell you about it. Senator Kwashi, that's right there. Senator.
Thank you very much, Martin. Thank you very much, the team in the studio. So welcome back to the decision room. This is where we have the nerve center of our operation. This is the data collection center. This is where we are doing all our checks, all our triple checks, and we are receiving currently some polling station data. So if you go onto our portal on 3news.com/elections, you will see the map starting to pick up. You see some color showing up onto the map. Of course, these are still provisional results, but you will be getting all the data in real time, all the results in real time, right here from the decision room at the Election Command Center on TV3 and also on 3FM.
Thank you very much for that. And just to give you an idea of what we have put together here at your Election Command Center to make sure that as the results coming and trickling thick and fast, through the systems that we put in place, we're checking it on the ground and then also looking at the historical data in those specific polling stations translated into the constituency as a whole and the regional, that's the results we've seen over the period, the trends as well. And then that feeds into the national picture. So we tell you what has been the case, what is the case right now, and what is going to be the case in the next 48 hours ahead of us here on the Election Command Center. It's a crucial area because the voting process, as we do know it, is in threefold. The voting that has taken place between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. in a number of the places. Then the sorting that is going on right now, which will be followed by the counting. And the crucial aspect of it is the declaration. But the first two instances is as important as the third and final one as well, because it's the first two that gives birth to the final declaration. That process is what we're talking about, it being free, fair, transparent, and as independent as possible. Martin, is enough.
Yes, certainly, and it's also expected to note that we here at your Election Command Center are keeping very close eyes on every ballot that is counted. And it's interesting, I mean, in time past when we used to be on the field, that's when you see them raise the paper and say 1, 2, and then the counting goes through, quite an elaborate process, and people are there vigilantly watching. Our concern, and we'll be touching base with all our correspondents in some of these areas to tell us or paint a picture for us how the counting and sortation is ongoing. But let's look at some of the key issues that played out during the day when the voting was ongoing. Largely, this has been one of the most peaceful, incident-free situations. But for these few issues that we're going to be running by you, so you also get to know exactly what happened and where it happened. And we've actually put it down in specific ways. So Alfred, the first that caught the attention of many was what happened in Tolong, where we're told that one person has died, unfortunately. 2 others have been injured following a shooting incident at Nyankala. 2 suspects have also been arrested by the police, and that's what happened in the northern region of Ghana. I mean, like we all indicated, it is unfortunate that a simple process like going to cast a ballot and go home to choose a leader should lead to someone losing their lives. In as much as this has happened or normally happens during electioneering cycles, it is high time we count ballots and not lives when such exercises do take place. In the central region too, we are told that the police are currently on a manhunt for a suspect who allegedly shot and injured one other person in the leg at a Butusenya East constituency. Now, the concern about shooting, in the last few days to the election proper, the Ghana Immigration Service arrested some guns or stopped some guns at the airport.
This constituency, we talked about it yesterday. This is Howard Thompson's constituency. That constituency has a very questionable history when it comes to violence. Right, and obviously the people there are not proud about it. It's one that they certainly should not be. And so hearing this right now just gives confirmation to the issue that we raised yesterday. This is one of the flashpoints in the central region as well right now. So that's a continuous. We're still looking at that, Martin, in the central region, the Butusenya constituency. But let's go to Tema Central in the Greater Accra region, where Miriam Oseajiman reports numbers in some polling stations are not adding up. Now, Miriam is connecting with us on Zoom right now. Miriam, tell us a bit more about what we're learning now. Hello, Miriam. Okay, we'll rectify that connection to Miriam Oseajiman right now, but this is what we're hearing from the Tema Central constituency. That's the Constituency Coalition Center. That's where we are, and Miriam is at the Constituency Coalition Center right now. Miriam, if you can hear me, tell us a bit more about what we are hearing about some of the numbers not adding up there. Hello, Miriam. we'll rectify that connection. But we'll keep an eye on Letama Central constituency. That's another place to watch as well, because, you know, Martin, with that constituency, we don't know, we're going to check it right now because it gives us an idea of the swing nature. Both parties have won that constituency before. But going into this particular election is a keen one. But let's go back to the Wutusenya East constituency. This is a place that, as we mentioned, in the 2020 elections, they had a similar situation. How are things in this constituency? When the lead up to the election. Then, just in the earlier part of this year as well, there was another incident that resulted in the police stepping in on this matter, and then the NDC parliamentary candidate there was questioned about it. Now we're hearing about what's happening in Wutusenya East again.
And that is why we have raised it a number of times, and it's good that the Election Security Task Force decided to deploy enough security officers around all the polling stations, so they were able to immediately try and douse the situation. However, the suspect is on the run, and it's also good that the Ghana Police Service is giving regular updates of some of these incidents, so the level of speculation is controlled and people do not spread mis and disinformation. So it's instructive to know that there is a manhunt very soon. We are told that the Ghana Police Service is likely to put out an image of the gentleman who is the suspect on the run, and when they do get him, hopefully they can bring him to book. So that's what has happened in the northern and central region. We'll go to the other regions, for instance, where we know in the Ashanti region and the western region, they also recorded some very unfortunate incidents regarding today's exercise of voting. Maybe Alfred, you want to try one again?
Certainly, and before we get into the western region, before you just mentioned the western region, I understand a polling station agent earlier was arrested for double voting. A polling station agent arrested for double voting. And that's one issue that came up in the western region. Rama Smith is connecting with us right now, the constituency of the constituency coalition centers there. Rama, tell us where you are and what's happening where you are.
Sorry, I am in a study particularly here in the western region. I have to note, London is unconsidered, and there's no secondary constituency, particularly an LPP stronghold. But so far, the results that I have here, they're being contacted. But interestingly, the results showing that these results are not spontaneous situation. As I surprised, so let me give you what I have here. The first police station is near the Transport Police Station. 79 people were expected to vote. At the end of the day, we had 419 people casting their vote. Let's look at the presidential results. For the presidential, NCC polls 158. 158. NDC polls 246. 246. And there is also a state rejected target. Now let's look at the parliamentary. With the parliamentary results, the incumbent NCC is a parliamentary polls 151. 151. While NDC Honorable Monitor polls 366. 366. Well, we have two rejected ballots. Let's move on to the personal results that can be. They expected 366 people to cast their vote. Out of that, 360 cast their vote. Now the presidential, the NCC polls 97. 97. While the NDC polls 140. 140. And here we have the new force, 27, Zoom, 21. CCC 21, well, they had 3 rejected ballots. Now let's look at the parliamentary results. The parliamentary, the NDC is a parliamentary, polls 100. While I'm not playing who is the NDC parliamentary candidate, polls 150. 150. So basically, these are the two results that have come out. Something is underway here in the constituency.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Rama Smith, connecting with us from the second day, that's constituency, especially the second D constituency there. And what we're seeing right now gives a certain picture. But as I indicated to you, that here on the Election Command Center, this result that we've gotten from at least 3 of the polling stations in that constituency, the number of polling stations. So just this 3 gives us a direction, but we're going to wait for at least a sizable number of the polling station results before we get a picture of how things are looking like. But this is a constituency to watch because the tourism minister, under the Honours as a private practitioner as well, is there. As Rama Smith indicated, is a stronghold or has been a stronghold of the NPP, the secondary constituency. But look, as we keep saying, trends only give us a direction. History is not linear. We are making room for a lot of outliers going into this particular election, and the trends that we've been used to, guys. I'm just putting myself up for the moments of surprise because seeing what we have at least been talking about in the run-up to this election, some of the trends will be thrown out of the window, and we must be prepared for it. And let's go to Tema Central constituency right now. Miriam Osiajiman is connecting with us again. Miriam, now you were telling us that some of the numbers initially did not add up. What's the situation right now? Hello, Miriam. We will reconnect with Miriam Osiajiman to get a clarity on what's happening in the Tema Central constituency. But guys, I mean, Martin, as I also indicated to you, we'll keep an eye on how things are playing out. But let's go back to the issues in the incident report right now, so we get to at least find out what happened in the Western region and the Ashanti region as well, because we've been seeing a lot happening in the Ashanti region. Joseph Yamin, the regional organizer, addressed the first earlier, spoke to us here on TV3 about some 500,000 ballot papers that they have intercepted, already thumbprinted.
And we're not in the ballot box.
In the ballot box.
And that's just very concerning. It raises the concern of how people got these ballot papers that have not been issued by EC officials, because we all know what the process must be. EC official is sat there, you come, they tear it for you after they verified your name, then you go out and vote. One man, one vote. But it looks as though some individuals that have been arrested. And while the show goes on, we'll also be bringing you some of those images and videos of people who were arrested with stash of ballot papers, and like we indicated, some of them already printed. Where were they taken? But to the key incidents that happened or characterized this year's election, we're told that in the Ashanti region, there was a voted and some military men at Obuasi East over claims that the soldier had showed up at the polling station. Now this is very interesting because we would know, or you would recall, that the Ghana Army or the Armed Forces earlier told the men that they were not going to deploy military men at collation or polling stations across the country. However, there was a statement they released yesterday saying that some men were being deployed to be more or less at the outskirts to be a backup